You are looking at the TFDi MD-11 in a classic VARIG livery. How you doing, everybody? CJ here. I am your classic jet sim pilot. And hey, you know what? We're doing a special route today, and it was the route that was suggested by last week's drawing winner, who won a copy of the TFDi MD-11. They won the passenger variant, and happy to report that they've got it, and hopefully are enjoying it. But in the meantime, the route that was suggested in his entry was this interesting route along the east coast of Brazil. So we're starting the day in Rio, and we're going to end up in Natal, Brazil, which is in the far sort of northeast corner of Brazil, right along the coast. I'll show you a picture. So here we are down in Rio, and we're going to end up in Natal. And anyway, it's an old VARIG route that they flew in the MD-11, a domestic route, and then from here, from Natal, they flew on to a second destination. But we're going to learn about flying in coastal Brazil today. Should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Love the continuing, of course, Mega Dog May with this outstanding livery. I've got one more week of Mega Dog May, celebrating the return of the MD-11 to service here, with recently FedEx putting them back into revenue service. And also, it sounds like that Western Global will be bringing theirs back as well. So exciting, and really fun airplane to celebrate, that is for sure. Well, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we'll also be using say intentions. So we'll have a use say intentions in a minute. So we'll get in and get things fired up and get going. We'll bring it in. Let's see, SBGL, SBNT. Yep, Rio to Natal, 41,000 feet. 2.5 hours in the air. It looks about right to me. Let's bring the battery on. External power can come on.
Autopilot.
And we'll start the IRS's aligning. Start a fire test. We'll now run the fire test on the APU. There it is. We'll go ahead and do the complete fire test since the systems are up.
Engine 2, fire. Engine 3, fire. Engine 1, fire.
Excellent. All right. We could go ahead and send the flight plan. We'll go ahead and set the payload and fuel. This is a little dim. We'll bring the brightness up. There we go. Got the GPU connected. Wheel chocks are connected. I'll go ahead and set the brakes. Okay. MD-11 CF6s, 13 May, the database is good. We'll emit the flight plan here, BGL, BNT, and we will initialize the IRS before we get going here. Alright, I do believe we are ready to get going. All the lights are out. We are aligning. Let's start the hydraulic system self-test. Arm the emergency power. Not sure why the emergency power came on. I've got the external power running. Try that again in a minute. We are 238 on board, I believe it was. Looking good with the fuel quantity test. We'll come around here, we'll turn up our panel lights. We'll arm the emergency lights. We'll test the emergency lights. Look for the emergency light test here. Passed, as we like to see. Smoking sign goes to auto. Seatbelt sign is off. The landing lights are off. There are no calls active. The nav lights are on. All the other lights are off. We did the test here. We'll arm the evac. Do a quick GPWS test.
Pull up.
Got the lights. Got the light here.
Pull up.
Had fail lights there. Excellent. Emergency power lights out, so that's what we want to see. No lights on the flight control panel. Cabin pressure, the outflow valve is open, and the system is in auto. Go ahead and bring the windshield anti-ice on. Should be a norm. And on, that's good. Annunciator light test.
Overspeed.
Go up each row and look for any missing lights.
Overspeed.
Looks good to me.
Overspeed.
Looking for the air test on the,
Overspeed.
there it is, air system test.
Overspeed.
Good to go there. We'll reset the fuel, reset the engine max pointers. The weather here in Rio. This is a handcrafted airport, by the way. It looks pretty good from what I've seen so far. I like it. 1015 is the altimeter. We can come across the top. We want to be in millibars. We are in magnetic. We are in indicated airspeed. We're in heading. We're in feet. We're in vertical speed. I want traffic, data, airport. 1015. Yep. And 1015. Cage the standby horizon. Parking brakes are set. The speed brakes are down.
Stabilizer. Flap. Flat. Brakes. Stabilizer.
Switches are off. We'll worry about the radios in just a second here. Interphone can come on. PAs can come on. I think we're still waiting on the IRS is still line, so that test may not work. We'll get our squawk code in a second. Today is an even day, so we can use no test yet. The IRSs are not quite aligned. 0, 0 on the trim, and we'll let the first officer worry about his panel. Alright, let's get to work on the route. Alternate, we put the 0 in, so that way we can control the fuel burn. We are VARIG. $23.74. 410 will be our cruise altitude. And let's look at the flight plan here. We are standard temperature. Wind component is plus 17. It's a little bit of a tailwind on our way up to Natal. And our cost index, a relatively low 20 today. Coming out of Rio, it looks like we are planning on using 10 or 15. Let's see. What makes more sense? Either one will work. We're down here. Well, 10 is more in our direction. What's it saying? Yeah, we'll plan on 10. That's fine. Runway 10. No SID planned today. Right up to Papa Charlie X-ray. So 10. Papa Charlie X-ray, and off we go. I wonder if there is a departure that we would normally have. Let's see. Yeah, not really. It's pretty much straight to Papa Charlie X-ray anyway. So that's good. We won't put the plug a SID in. No big deal. And we'll see if we get something different. On our way into Natal, the Togun arrival, it looks like. 16 left. We'll look at the airport diagram here and make sure. Yep, that's the big runway. 8,500 feet long. ILS 16 left from November Tango 363. Yep. The arrival leads me right to it. So we'll put that star in. ILS 16 left. Yankee. Here it is. 363. Togun 1 Alpha. So Papa Charlie X-ray, IMBAP. To Togun. So here's Togun. To November Tango 017, above 5,000, flight level 50. November Tango 014 at 3,000. November Tango 363 at 3,000. Yep. And then onto the ILS Yankee. November Tango 363 is here. To November Tango 364 at 2,500 or above. November Tango 366 at 1,800 feet. Looks good. And 16 left. All right. I think we are good to go. We'll put that in the second. Okay, let's see. Our zero fuel weight on the way out of here today is 332.3. Our fuel on board is 60.3, 60.3, 60.3. And our planned taxi fuel, 2,000. Seems like a lot, but it's fine with me. Route reserve, it's a domestic route, so we don't need a route reserve. Alternate, 8.2. And we got an hour and a half extra fuel. Excellent. Now, let's do our takeoff data. Performance, SBGL, runway 10. We'll get the weather. Looks good. Our takeoff weight is planned to be 390.6. Yep. Flex at 59, flaps 10. 59. Flat setting of 10. And we can set our dial flat. Whoop. Yep, there's our flaps 10. And we're looking at 36, 37, 59. 36. Oh, actually, let's let it choose. Let's clear that out. Let's see what the computer comes up with. Slope and wind. We're looking at 0.1 and a tailwind of 1 knot. And our temp today is 21°C. Gotta remember the C. There we go. 36, 37, 59. 36, 37, 59. Looks good. Bam, bam, bam. Performance-wise, we got a climb at 305 knots up to Mach 0.81. Cruise today. Well, that's fine. It's not a very long flight. And our descent, what was our 0.813? Yeah, Mach 81. So let's make this 0.813/330. We'll put that in there. No, we won't. 0.813/330. Put in here. That will be our descent planning. Alright, there we go. Our descent forecast today. Might as well throw that in while we're sitting here waiting to go. At 35,000 feet. 129 at 9. What is going on here? 350 129 9. I put it in the last, which is not what I meant to do. 200. Our winds are 092 at 11. And 10,000 feet. 112 at 10. And the wind at our arrival, though, at 1509 right now. Insert that. Okay, I think we've got that all done, and now we can, let's get our ATIS. In fact, let's do it. Actually, we got our ATIS. Coming out of Rio. International Airport Information, Bravo, 1000, arriving, departing, runway 1015, wind calm, visibility 2, mist, sky clear, temperature 212.20, QNH 1015, transition levels 8000, flow control in effect, expect delays, advise on initial contact, you have Bravo. We have got Bravo. And clearance 121.0. Let's see if we can get a clearance out of these folks. Clearance, good morning. VARIG 2374 with Bravo. Clearance to Natal, please.
Clearance on request. Stand by. VARIG 2374, heavy, Galileo Tower. Information Bravo is correct. Cleared to Natal. After departure, fly radar vectors, Porto, Rio de Janeiro, then as filed. Runway 10, initial climb to 4,000. Departure on 119.0, squawk 6254.
Clear to VARIG 2374, clear to Natal. Radar vectors Papa Charlie X-ray, then as filed. Runway 10 for departure. Initial climb 4,000. Departure 119.0. Squawk 6254.
VARIG 2374, read back correct. Ground will be on 121.65.
Ground on 2165 for push and start. VARIG 2374, thank you. All right. $4,000 feet. We've got this 250 knots because our clean speed is 224, so that's good. 6254 on the squawk. Already got it. 119.0 is departure. Put that there as a reminder. And yeah. I think we are good to go. Let me pull out the proper checklist here. Okay, rudders and pedals adjusted and locked. Windows are closed and locked. O2 mask interphone set and checked. FMS McDo is initialized and checked. IRSs are in nav. Test down. Hydraulic panel has been checked. Fuel panel quantity and distribution 60,300 pounds. and distributed evenly balanced. Emergency light switch is armed. No smoking sign is on. Evac switch is armed. We're going to go ahead and bring the seatbelt sign on now. AFS control panel is checked. Cabin pressure panel checked. Windshield anti-ice defrog. No arm on. Defog light out. Glare shield control panel set and checked. What was our heading? Oh, that was runway 10. So runway 10. Excellent. Pardon me 1 second while I plug this back in. There we go. Sorry about that. Had the I'm using mobile flight with the Airbus FCP and or FCU, and for some reason it wasn't connecting properly. In fact, it still sort of isn't. I'm not sure what changed here, so I'm going to troubleshoot for just a second here. Do that. Let me restart it. Systems display control panel. There we go. Check the ice and bug set and cross-check standby flight instruments or check gear handle lights down for green. Brakes and pressure parked normal. Flap and slant handle is up. Throttles are closed. Reverse lever are down. Takeoff warning's been checked. Fuel switches are off. Weather radar is off. Transponder is standby and set. Aileron rudder trim 00. Shoulder harness is on. Flight attendant briefing is complete. I've got the seatbelt sign on. The status page should be in good shape here. There it is. I'm going to start the APU. And go ahead and set the auto brakes to take off. And we're just about ready to push. Ground 2165 will be next. And we'll wait for that AP to fire up. But like I was saying, this is a handcrafted airport. So looks pretty good, even though it's sort of a hazy, lucky morning here in Rio. But got some nice traffic going. Runway 10's out that direction. May have to finally give AIG Traffic a try again with their new one-click installer. We'll have to see. Oh, we were only 194 passengers. So let's set this to 200. Alright. External, or APU is on. We'll get the bleed going. We'll turn the external power off. We shall disconnect. Go to services. Disconnect. Wheel chucks removed. Let's go ahead and retract the jetway. goes. Alright, there are no door alerts. Beacon nav lights are coming on. Cabin rudder report has been received. And I forgot what the date was today. It's an even day. C2 System B. And let's tell GSX we are ready to push. $23.74. Ground, good morning. VARIG 2374. We are ready for push and start. We have Bravo.
VARIG 2374. Heavy Galileo Tower, push and start approved. Face southwest.
Push and start approved, face southwest. VARIG 2374. Southwest, so that would be...
Departure checks completed. Bypass being set.
a nose right. Taxi. Airport.
Locking gear.
We're over there. So we'll do that nose right push and we'll be good to go. Pump can come on, bleeds are on, ready to push. Facing southwest, Yankee 5. Sounds good to me. Brakes are released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Ignition, air. Let's turn number 3. Watching that N2 come up. We've got oil pressure.
Goal 1869er contact ground on 128.3. Clear ahead.
Ground, go 1869er.
Go 1850, holding short of 10, ready to go.
Goal 1850, winds calm, runway 10, cleared for takeoff.
Gas motoring.
Cleared for takeoff 10, go 1850.
Turn the fuel switch on. Watching that EGT for the hot start. Watching N2 and N1 for hung start.
Ground, go 1869er, taxi to the ramp.
Please set parking brake.
Goal 1869er. Taxi to parking via Charlie Charlie, November, Whiskey, Mike Sierra, November, Lima 1, Yankee 1, Yankee.
It sounds
Yankee
like we have.
6.
Sounds
Charlie,
like.
Charlie, November, Whiskey, Mike, Sierra, November, Lima 1, Yankee 6, go 1869er.
We got Dracula controlling. Turning 1. N2. Oil pressure.
Unlocking gear. Bluetooth disconnected. Bypassing elevation.
There's max motoring.
Let's receive right
Not quite. There it is. Fuel. AGT. There she is with the pins. Give her a flash of the taxi light.
Vol 1850, contact departure.
To departure, go 1850. Good day.
Alright, let's turn 2. And 2. Motoring, fuel is on, fuel flow, EGT. Starter cut out. Looks like we got 3 good starts. Turn off the APU bleed, which will start the shutdown process of the APU. We do not need anti-ice. We can harm the speed brakes. Flaps go to 10. Sights are extended. Lamps are coming out. Looks like more than 10. There we go. Alright, flaps are 10. After start checklist says APU is coming off, hydraulic system is checked, electrical system is checked, air is checked, fuel system is checked, anti-ice off, config, age, we will select and we'll do our control check. 3. It's at 737 doing 2, 2, 1, and 1. Flaps are indicating 10, and we'll go to a trim of 5.7. The controls are free and correct. Taxi check complete. Ground VARIG 2374. Request taxi.
VARIG 2374, runway 10 taxi via Yankee 5. Yankee 2, Lima 1, November, Quebec, Papa.
Runway 10, Yankee 5, Yankee 2, Lima 1, November, Quebec, Papa for VARIG 2372. Yankee 5.
Azul 4469er, contact ground on 128.3 in favor.
Switching to ground, Azul 4469er.
Yankee 2, Lima 1, Quebec, Papa. Alright. So he wants me to go on Yankee. Oh no, the plane's gone. Alright, excellent. Clear left, clear right. Here we go. It's a little close up there, doesn't it? I think I'm going to stay in the middle taxiway, the Yankee. I'll transfer out to Yankee 2 here in a second. Looks a little tight. So like I was saying, it's the handcrafted Rio, handcrafted MSFS airport. I've not been to Rio, but looks pretty decent to me.
3727, runway 10, winds calm, cleared to land.
10 cleared to land, 3727.
Looks like a Delta 767 there. KLM 787 looks like. Or is that an Airbus A350? No, 787. Some nice traffic injection here by Say Intentions. Alright, wants me to take Yankee 2, so I'm going to drift out to Yankee 2 here. Yeah, I think, well, there's probably more room in real life, but I guess it doesn't look so bad. It just looked kind of narrow for a minute there. I'd rather go out to Kilo and around, but that's all right. We shall follow the instructions. Yankee 2. Keep our speed down here in the ramp. This over. That way it's not blocking your view. Lima 1. Mike, Quebec, Papa. Well, at least we get to do a little plane spotting on our way around. Aerolíneas Argentinas. Go. I've not done a lot of flying around Brazil in the sim. There's the old Italia, Alitalia. I've done some, West Coast ops and some Northern South America ops, right? We've done in the MD-11. Martin Air has some routes we've done up in Northern South America and on the Northwest Coast. but not done a whole lot over on this side, so this is kind of fun. Alright, the left turn here should be Lima 1. Somebody landing on runway 1. Take this turn wide. You got a big maybe another 767 sitting there, or an A330. Oh yeah, Airbus. Obviously Airbus with the Neo decals. 330-900. Lima 1 to November. And November should be the second taxiway. I feel like we sort of ran the gauntlet there. Nav and prof are armed. Turn right on November here. We've got some elevation changes. Got some wavy ramp here. Oh, come on, Asobo. Handcrafted airport should have all that smoothed out. One would think. November, second left will be Quebec.
12540, number 110, ready.
103540, wings calm, runway 10 cleared for takeoff.
Rolling 10, 10540.
Okay, left turn on Quebec. Then a slight right on Papa. So here I am turning on Quebec and then get a little bit of Papa. And after we make this turn, we'll go ahead and do the before takeoff checklist. Oh, here's the hold anyway. GCP is set and checked. Anti-ice is off. Stab trim is set. Spoilers armed. Brakes are takeoff. Flats and slabs. 10, 10, and 10. Takeoff data bugs set. Runway 10, 36, 37, 59. With a
13540, contact departure.
Switching to departure, 10540.
We can switch to tower. 165, that's still ground. EAD is alerts are checked. Green box. Takeoff PA is completed. Transponder. We can bring on TARA and lights to go. Tower VARIG 2374 ready for departure 10.
VARIG 2374, heavy, Galileo Tower, hold short of runway 10, A323 mile final.
Hold short 10 VARIG 2374.
10, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 10 cleared for takeoff. VARIG 2374. Well, that was fast. Alright, let's keep it rolling. Lights. Camera. Arm the auto throttle. Keep it rolling around the corner. I see that traffic out there. I think we're alright. Here we go. Thrust is set. 100 knots. Check. V1, rotate. Positive ray. You're up. We go to 410.
VARIG 2374, contact Rio departure on 119.0.
Departure on 119.0, VARIG 2374. Bye-bye.
Stabilizer motion.
Departure VARIG 2374, heavy. 3000, climb into 4, runway heading.
Altitude.
VARIG 2374, heavy, Rio departure, radar contact. Climb flight level 380. Maintain present heading, vectors to Porto, Rio de Janeiro. Then on course.
Flight level 380, maintain present heading, VARIG 2374. Alright, we'll check the slats. Disarm speed brakes.
VARIG 2374, direct Porto, Rio de Janeiro. Then as filed, please.
Direct Porto, Rio de Janeiro for VARIG 2374 heavy. Alright. Papa Charlie X-ray. We're more or less headed right for it anyway, so that's good. Alright, after takeoff checklist. Spoilers are disarmed, gears up, no lights, auto brake selectors off, no smoking sign is in auto. Landing lights. Flat slaps, ups and retracted. EAD alerts are checked. There's 8,000 feet. We can go to standard. All the way up to 380. Adios, Rio. That's pretty cool though, isn't it? Climbing out at 300 knots. Lovely. Lovely. Let's look more at the scenery. It's like a VARIG commercial. Alright, making a left turn over Rio's VOR. Heading north towards Imbap. You're in this lovely morning departure out of Rio. Sort of hazy down in Rio. But lovely now that we're getting up to altitude. Quick departure out of Rio, being so light. A little odd with the same tensions call, the hold short and then immediate departure.
VARIG 2374. Contact Curitiba Center on 124.0.
Center is 124.0, VARIG 2374. Have a good day. Curitiba Center, good morning. VARIG 2374 Heavy, climbing through 183 for flight level 380.
VARIG 2374, Curitiba Center, identified. Good morning.
So I haven't used say intentions in a while, but I gotta say, I feel like there's a lot less delay with it, a lot less processing time. And sounds good. So on that departure, like I was saying, it was a little odd to get the hold short and then departure clearance. Typically, if they give you a hold short because of traffic, right, and if the controller feels like it's close like that, usually the first thing they'll ask is, are you
VARIG 2374, climb flight level 390.
Flight level 390, about a 237. They'll ask you if you can accept an immediate departure, or they'll just issue it. You won't get the hold short and then
Curitiba Center, go 1306, flight level 240.
and then the departure. So that was the
Go 1306, radar contact.
I mean, I suppose you could, but that's I can't think of a time where I've heard it like that. Usually it's hold short and you're waiting, or you're told to hold short and then they'll come back and say, hey, can you take the immediate? But anyway, all's well that ends well. When my turn off lights are off, the dial flap will be put to 15. And we are good to go on our way to Natal, Brazil. Excellent. we got all these clouds. I'll tell you what, if it clears up and we have some nice scenery to look at, we'll come back live to flight. Otherwise, I will see you as we're in our descent into Natal.
VARIG 2374, climb flight level 410.
Flight level 410, VARIG 2374. All right, that's 3410. Okay, now we got our final cruise altitude in there. We'll see you in a bit. So before we start our descent, as we work our way towards Natal, and we are, let's see, how far away are we here? Yeah, we still got a little ways, 300 miles or so to top of descent. So where we're going today, Natal, in northeastern Brazil, is kind of an interesting city. Let me pull this over. So as you can see, it occupies the far northeast corner of Brazil, and as such was actually designated by the U.S. government as one of the top 4 strategic locations in the world. So Suez Canal being another one, for example. And it was the launching point of a lot of movement of materials and so forth to Africa, the west coast of Africa, during World War II. And so that military history, the airport that we're flying to, Sierra Bravo November Tango, is no longer the main airport of Natal, the main civilian airport. It is actually a military base, but it is the airport that served Natal up to like 2011-ish, something like that, so 15 years ago or so. And now they have a new international airport. But up until then, this is the airport that served the region, and Natal, I guess, is the capital of the state, and I believe the state is Rio Grande. Maybe that's it.
Azul 2674, descend and maintain flight level 160, cleared for the UD C2 Alpha arrival into Salvador.
Moving for flight level 160, cleared for the UD C2 Alpha arrival into Salvador, Azul 2674.
So anyway, and then, but the scenery I downloaded off of flightsim.to, I believe, reproduces Natal, including it should have the passenger terminal, so it'll allow us to fly into and have a place to park. But we'll see. I've never flown to this airport, so it very much is a historic destination for VARIG and the other airlines that served Brazil in this very strategic far northeast corner of the country and of South America in general. You can see I'm logged into CPDLC through Say Intentions today. And the flight is going swimmingly. Looks like we're crossing over some contrails. Take a look out at the scenery, what's going on. That's pretty good, huh? So today we're using, besides obviously the TFDi MD-11 and this wonderful livery by Hughes, which is actually found on TFDi's livery page for the MD-11. So shout out to Hughes for producing another great livery for use in this aircraft. But I'm using Flight Sim Factory's MD-11 pack. As you may know, and as I've covered in the past, Flight Sim Factory makes some of the nicest honeycomb Bravo add-ons that I've ever seen. And let's just want to show it off here. So here's what it looks like. And it's a very nice set. So this template lays over the entire honeycomb Bravo, and it contains the stops and the notches for the gates for both the speed brake lever and the flat
Azul
lever.
2454, descend and maintain flight level 260.
And then this is just a
For flight level 260, Azul 2454.
and then this is just a cover that sits over the one stock that is not used. You've also got functioning reversers. So you pull those up and your reverse activates. And then you have a go-around button. I wonder if there's a picture that shows it. Here it is, toga button. And then the auto throttle disconnect buttons here on either side. I am a huge fan of Flight Sim Factory. Their MD-11 set is light years beyond the ProDesk Sim set, which was, in my opinion, very cheaply made set. And incorrect, even though I find it very interesting how they tout that their flap gates are correct with there not being a gate at the slats extended position. The real aircraft certainly does have a gate there. In fact, I don't know of an airplane that wouldn't have a gate at the zero speed brake, at the flaps extended zero flaps position, because those slats are important for low speed handling, and you do not want somebody bumping the lever past that gate without it being very intentional. That would be very dangerous. Anyway, Flight Sim Factory, well worth looking into, and can't say enough about them. As a matter of fact, they are so good, and the man that runs it, his name is Donnie, and I bought this set.
Azul 2634, descend and maintain flight level 130.
Flight level 130, Azul 2634.
I bought the set when it first came out, and for some reason the flap handle has become very loose. Doesn't fit real snug, so the problem being after a while when I would pull up, because you have to pull up to get the notch to get the pin out of the notches into the gates, right? I would pull up and the handle would just too easily come off the stock. So one email to Donnie, and he's like, no problem, and I happened to have an additional order in with him for something else, and he put one in, no questions asked. No blame game, no, are you storing it on somebody else's stand? Are you, what did you do to break because there's a little tab, in fact you can see it, there's a little tab here that slides over the stock and kind of helps keep it in place. But yeah, there was none of that, just included it, and I'm sure he'd do that with anybody with a legitimate concern, and that's the kind of guy I've found him to be over the years as I've discussed certain things with him. like maybe making an MD-80 set, Donnie? How about that? Anyway, no, I can't recommend Flight Sim Factory enough, so definitely worth giving a look at flightsimfactory.net is his website. If I don't have one, I'll make sure there's a link on the YouTube page. But anyway, just a shout out to Donnie and Flight Sim Factory for producing a great MD-11 kit, and also taking care of me when something wasn't quite right with one of the pieces after using it for quite a while, by the way. It didn't ship with that defect as far as I could tell. It for whatever reason something wore out on it, probably faster than he anticipated. So anyway, he took care of it. That's all that matters. So I like to support people like that, and we could use more suppliers like that in the flight sim world. But Donnie's one of them.
Flight Center, VARIG 2374. Good morning at flight level 410.
VARIG 2374, Recife Center, identified. Good morning.
Brian, I've got the comms.
Not clear what you said. Say again.
I've got the comms, Brian. Thank you.
You've got the comms now, CJ.
So, you may have heard the tone. I had the co-pilot handling the comms. I can come out of the fuel page. I was on the fuel page because the cold fuel circulation fuel pumps were running because the fuel temp had gotten kind of chilly. So you'll notice you may have heard the tone. We've got ATC message. So let's check out ATC comms. We can clear that. Contact receive 128.8. 128.8. I believe we've already checked in. We have. And now what I can do is accept it, send the response. And now I can log back in to the new channel, which is Sierra Bravo Romeo Echo. Sierra Bravo Romeo Echo. Put that in the login too. Oh, I'm already logged in. Sorry, I don't have to. Yeah, it says Active Center, SBRE. Same CPDLC address. And by the way, to use CPDLC, it's in the options menu under comms. You notice I've got say intentions, and I've got the say intentions key typed in. And I just saved that, and it works. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And now I'll get CPDLC messages. I had some bumps earlier, that's why I had the seatbelt sign. We'll go ahead and let them up for the last 45 minutes or so of the flight. Progress, we're still arriving Natal at 1340 Zulu, so about an hour. And we did predict about 2.5 hours en route, so that's about right. So we're doing good. Doing good, folks. All right, we'll talk to you again when we get closer to top of descent. Well, welcome back. We're just prepping for our descent into Natal. We are about 10 minutes away from top of descent, I think. Yep. 11 minutes, 90 miles. So we reviewed the arrival on before we took off, but the wind is calm. We're still going to plan on the same runway, and yeah, unless we get something different. But it looks like the Togun 1 Alpha arrival is still on tap, so we will fly direct Togun, descend to November Tango 017. So there's Togun. We'll be on our descent. November Tango 017, 3,000 feet. I'm sorry, above 5,000. Flight level 50. So there we go, flight level 50. And it's above, at or above. The next is November Tango 014 at 3,000. November Tango 014 at 3,000. And the next is November Tango 363 at 3,000. November Tango 363 at 3,000. Then we're going to get on the approach. November Tango 364. So let's go to approach. ILS 16 left Yankee. Yep. November Tango 363 is right here. 3,000, 364, at or above 2,500. At or above 2,500. 3-degree glide slope, 1,800 feet at 366, which is our final approach fix. That glide slope intercept, 366, 1,800 feet. There we go. If we need to go missed, it looks like it'll be a climb to 3,000 feet, heading 162, which is our inbound course, to 2,000, and then a right turn back to November Tango 363 for holding. Now, there is a hold depicted here, so that's how we'll plan on holding at November Tango 363 if we do go missed. 16 left, 2,000, 363, and then hold right. Hold right. Right turns. So that is all set up. Our minimum descent. I think our final approach speeds will be relatively low. Yeah. So we'll be Cat D. So 349 will be our. Barrow 349. Whoop. That mouse wheel acceleration sometimes is a little too aggressive. 349. 349. So there we go. The arrival is briefed. Let's go back to the star. Have that chart here. Although, frankly, I like having my EFB where I don't have to change my view so much. Right? In the real airplane, it's easy to avert your gaze, and you don't lose your peripheral vision of what's going on. But of course, in the sim, when you come over here, you lose all what's going on. Anyway, no big deal. We'll prep for our top of descent. We'll make our announcement to the folks in back that we're going to begin the descent in a few minutes here into Natal, and that we're looking at an arrival in about 30 minutes. Weather in Natal, some scattered clouds, 28 degrees, and light, calm winds. Thank you for flying VARIG. And we'll start our descent here momentarily. All right, we are back, and we are on our descent. Let me tell the Brian. Hey, Brian, I've got the comms now.
You've got the comms now, CJ.
Hey, Brian, can we get an approach briefing, please?
We'll be arriving in Natal on runway 16 left using the ILS Yankee Yankee approach. We'll be flying the Togan 1 Alpha arrival. Transition level is 50. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 16 left. Weather at arrival shows winds 150 at 11 knots. Few clouds at 2,000 feet, scattered at 5,000, broken at 7,000. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 6254, and approach frequency will be 119.0. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. Once on the ground, we'll be taxiing to gate Park Stand 1. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
Thanks, Brian. Not so sure about those approach speeds. I'll double check them.
No problem, CJ. Let me know if you need any further details.
Yeah. Not 135, because 139 is ref. I'm not sure where it's getting that from. If we do flaps 50, which is what I was going to do, because this isn't a super short runway. I mean, a super long runway. It's a little on the short side. All right, 16 left. is 8,500 feet long. I mean, it's not terribly short. But we've also got conflicting weather. The MEDAR I pulled up said the winds were calm, yet this is saying there's strong winds. So I'm going to go ahead and plan for a flaps 50. Besides that, it's a little juicier. And we know we'll have enough. We know we have enough runway. But there'll be no feffing about. Get the plane down, get it stopped. Taxi to stand 1. Yeah, same intentions. I gotta give credit where credit's due. It seems like it's the delay was probably the most notable opportunity they had, and the delay seems much reduced. So, there's some traffic. Wow, it's 15 miles away. We're not going to see it. All right, how's our temp doing? We are, we're planning on 24 degrees. No concerns about anti-ice. There's our 10,000 foot mark. How are we doing our distance to Togan? Or, I'm sorry, we're past Togan. Above flight level 50 here. (1015) was the altimeter. Let's go ahead and do the approach checklist. FMS McDo is set for the arrival. Shoulder harnesses on. The air panel is set. Pressurization is checked. Oh, 15011. I was wrong. All right, that's good. So that tracks, and that's what we planned on with our landing performance. So that's good. Slowing to 250 knots as we come through 10,000 feet. Wing and runway lights are on. Status page has been checked. We're coming up on 10,000 for the sterile chime and the landing lights. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelts on now too. We'll go ahead and chime them. I might have some bumps for these clouds anyway. Better earlier than never. I'm going to bring the radar online too. Let's see what we're looking at here. There's 10,000 feet. Landing lights are on. I have them set to a switch on my Bravo. So the way I normally set up my Bravo is the lights that come on and off relatively often are set to my switches. So I've got the taxi light, the landing light, the runway turn-off lights, and the strobes. And in the MD-11, that's pretty much all you need. Nav lights are on from power up to power down, so I don't have a switch for that. All right, 3,000 feet. All the way to November Tango 363. And you can see the hole depicted on the nav display. brighten this up a little bit here. Yeah, you can see the hold. That's in case of the mist. 2,000 back to the hold here. And notice how the holding's at 2, so that way any inbound traffic crossing at 3 doesn't conflict. Not getting any returns, although these look awfully heavy. But nothing showing up on radar. So we'll go with that. Awesome. It's showing we're going to reach 3,000 right at November Tango 014, which is where we need to be. That is the crossing restriction. And then 13 miles or so to November Tango 363, which is where we'll get ready to turn in for the approach. Right after that. All right, we're done the chime. We've got the lights. Descent checklist is complete. Let's make sure I got the FMC set for the approach. Flaps 50. Approach 141 will be our the app. There it's painting a little bit. North of our course, so that's good. Doesn't look like anything on the approach itself after we make the turn. So the weather's all north. I like it. Coming up on 1,000 to go.
Altitude.
There it is, 1,000 to go. Through the cloud layer. I'm wondering if it's humid enough where we'll get some condensation trails off the wingtips or off the flaps. We'll take a, if I remember, we'll take another look when we slow down a little bit more. All right, there we are. 3,000 feet. Right at November Tango 014. Now we're headed to November Tango 363 at the 3,000 feet. Perfect. Okay, we're right here, heading to November Tango 363. We can go to the approach chart. ILS 16 left Yankee. Here it is.
VARIG 2374, descent altitude 1, 800 feet cleared for the ILS runway, 16 left approach via November Tango 363, QNH 1014.
QNH 1014, descend and maintain 1,800, cleared for the ILS runway 16 left from November Tango 363. VARIG 2374. All right, we're cleared for the approach. November Tango 363. Our minimum safe altitude, yeah, it's 3,000 feet. I don't like that descent, that early descent, so I'm going to stay at 3. I am going to, however, slow us down. 210 knots. We can go slats out. Slats are out. Slats are low-speed devices. And if you look, you'll see they go from the wing being this shape, a little bit of a curve, to a lot of curve. So therefore, as the angle of attack increases as we slow down, the airflow does not separate as easily. Therefore, maintaining our lift farther into lower speeds. All right, November Tango 363. .3 INT. That is the identifier of the ILS. And after November Tango 363, we can descend to 2500. So let's put that in. Turn. We're going to start down now on the next segment soon. That's why we're getting that vert alert message here, which is now gone because we are beginning our descent to 2,500, which is not, we have 13 miles to do it, so no big hurry. So what's next? Next is arriving at 2,500. We'll make the turn, and then we'll intercept the localizer. I'll bet this is the new international airport. Just a guess. There we go. Looks like a new airport. Even though it's, what, 15 years old now? Alright, we're making the turn. And we can head down to 1,800 feet. We've been ready. I'm going to bring out flaps 15. Speed checks. Flaps 15. Slow down to 180.
VARIG 2374, contact Natal Tower on 118.7.
Natal Tower 118.7. VARIG 2374. Bye bye. 1187. It's tuned. Tower, good morning. VARIG 2374 heavy. ILS 16 left. Land armed. Loc.
VARIG 2374 heavy Natal Tower. Roger.
Cleared to land, 16 left, VARIG 2374. So that audio came in really weak. I did make a pilot report to say intentions about that. So we'll level off at 1,800 feet. We'll go to flaps 28, speed checks. VAP was what, 144? 141. Here comes the glide slope. Gear down. Speed brake on. Flaps 35. .141. Let's Go to flaps 50. Speed checks. Flap 50. For landing checklist.
Stabilizer motion.
GCP is set and checked. EIS bugs set and cross-checked.
Stabilizer motion.
Seatbelts on. PA's completed. EAD alerts check green box. Gears down for green. Auto brakes are set to min. Spoiler is armed. Flats and slaps 50. 50. We are clear to land. The terminal's down at this end of the airport, so we'll plan on exiting left.
Approaching runway 16 left.
I hope so. Okay. My airplane.
Autopilot. Stabilizer motion.
My throttles. I heard you. Goodness.
400. 300. Approaching minimum. 200.
We're high. Correcting.
Stabilizer motion. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Spoilers are up. Reverser's green.
Flight 74, welcome to platform.
80 knots.
Contact 12, 1.1
We'll contact ground 121.9, VARIG 2374. Manual braking. Okay, we got a turnaround there, so let's do that. Normally they wouldn't hand us off the ground here. They would have us do the turnaround. Oh, I forgot to look and see if we were getting condensation trails. Oh well. Tower, VARIG 2374. Would you like us to exit the runway at Echo or at Kilo?
VARIG 2374, exit at Echo.
Alright, we'll exit the runway at Echo 2374. So we'll exit right here.
VARIG 2374, say again please.
I already said it. this taxiway looked kind of narrow. That's the only reason why I asked. But we'll go with it. Went to 1.9 is ground. Natal ground, VARIG 2374 heavy, clear of runway 16 left at Echo, taxi to the terminal.
VARIG 2374, Natal ground, taxi to park stand 47 via Echo, hold short of runway 30. Good day.
Via Echo, hold short of runway 30 for very good 2374. See, that's one thing I was hoping they'd fix and say in touch.
VARIG 2374, cross runway 30.
Cross runway 30, very good 2374. All right, we're clear to cross. But notice he said good day earlier, which is kind of like, I'm not going to talk to you again. We'll get across, and then we will ensure all the lights are out, and we will do our after landing checklist. You can see all the hangars for the military aircraft. In fact, there's a few sitting under there. That's pretty cool. Since this is a military airport now, since not being the main airport for the region, civilian airport. Alright, auto brakes are off, the speed brakes are down, APU is coming online, flaps are up, lights are as I need them. We'll make this turn and then we'll do the after landing check. This looks a little tight. Hello. Yeah, that's a little tight. Little tight for the MD. We probably should have exited up here at Kilo or whatever that is. The reverse indications are extinguished. Landing lights are off. High intensity lights are off. Brake pressure is, I'll monitor. Flats and slats up and retracted. Spoiler handle is down. Nose trim. Degrees, nose up. Transponder, we can come to standby. Radar is off. After landing checklist complete. Alright, let's I'm not going to shut down that center engine quite yet. Here. Yeah, see how close that taxiway is. Ay, ay, ay. Close. Okay, we're past it. That was pretty tight. Alright, let's set up for some parking with GSX. Let's select from the map. Let's go to gate 1. Select. No. Sure. Pro Air. That works for me. And I'm just angling out towards this outside line. Since it looks like it's pretty tight again. Hardest part's to taxi in. There's helicopters. Looks like some Bondurants, some 110. Embraer 110s. In military use there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, definitely. The Bondurants. Sound like thunder. You can see the passenger terminal up there. Fun little free scenery. Because I'm sure this airport does not have much to it in the actual Microsoft DeSobo version. And notice how there's no traffic because it Say Intentions pulls traffic from real world schedules, and since there is no civilian flying in and out of Natal anymore, we're it. Are it. Some more Bondurants underneath their enclosures. Their shelter. Alright, I think we're good now. I'm shut number 2 down. Head over to stand 1. Stand 3. Stand 2. And I guess this whole new terminal was built here only a few years before they decided to move the airport. I guess they built this beautiful new terminal, and then the region quickly outgrew it. So I'd be curious to see what this looks like nowadays. If it's just totally abandoned, did they tear it down? But they built this maybe around in the mid-2000s, I want to say. I could be remembering wrong. But pretty interesting how they built this fairly modern terminal at Natal, and then 10 years or less later, it's basically being unused. So doubly kind of fun that whoever did the scenery included it and more or less operating the state when it was being used. So you can recreate flights to it. Alright, a little more paying attention to what I'm doing here, a little less jabbering. Alright, Here we go. Excellent. Park brake set. APU bleed is on. Shut them down. Seatbelt sign's coming off. Since I'm below 10% N1, which I am, we can bring the beacon off. And let's see if we can deboard. Yeah, nice. Here we are in Natal. VARIG 2374 MD-11 service, domestic Brazilian service between Rio and Natal here in the far northeast corner of Brazil. That was fun. It was a fun flight to reproduce. And thanks to our winner last week for suggesting this route. I'm really happy to be able to bring it to you and bring this fun Hughes VARIG livery to your attention. Lots of great flying in South America, and VARIG especially was I've heard it described as the Pan Am of Brazil, because it pretty much owned big jet travel around Brazil for many years. And it's a shame it's a carrier that's not around anymore, but you know what? We can keep it going right here on the Classic Jet Sim pilot channel for your enjoyment. So there we have it. TFDi MD-11 Hughes VARIG Brazil livery, and special thanks to our winner Tony that suggested this route up to Natal from Rio. That's it for me, everybody. Hope to see you next week for week number 4, our final week in Mega Dog May, and yeah, we'll see what we have in store. If you have any suggestions for flights or anything you'd like to see, feel free to leave me a message on the video. I'm happy to accommodate anything that was a historic route with a historic airframe. But love to hear from you. So until next time, keep the shiny side up. And I'm CJ, your Classic Jet Sim pilot. Bye-bye, everybody.